Now, I already told you that your websites or the client's websites matters a lot, because whenever we are, you know, asking, whenever we are checking a client's website, or we, go through our website itself. Let's say if we want to create our own website, then we have already learned in the backend that what all important things that we need to keep, we what all flow that we need to follow, right? If we do that, then our website would be able to convert the visitors. Therefore, it is essential to understand these things. But then the important parts we are going to discuss here are: number one, how can you build trust? Right? Understand this thing that your website, if someone is visiting your website for the first time, or the client's website for the first time, they are just the baby. They do not know what they should do, right? But then, if you build a trust that if you jump, if you do certain action, we will back you up, right? Our customer support is so great that they will provide you support at any time, right? Therefore, if we are having a website, and from that website, if we cannot build trust, then we cannot expect conversions. Therefore, it's important that we build trust from that particular platform. Not only just website, even if we are having some kind of app, from that application also, we need to make sure that we are building trust. Now, we also need to make sure that we generate some kind of authority from the platform that we are having, right? Or the client is having, because an authority gets you in a place where a client, or the visitors would be able to make sure that they take certain actions, right? Therefore, your site should be authorized, or you should implement some of the important things in a way that people who are visiting the website should get to know ki your website is authorized by some kind of, you know uh, some kind of certifications, that you have certain authority with your website, and making sure that you are driving your customer or the visitors in a right path. Now, one very important aspect, that is social proof. So, people who are visiting your website should get to know that other people are taking some kind of actions, right? So they should know the social proof. They should understand, or they should be aware that if a certain client, or if a certain customer has opted on certain products, they are not cheated, they were not duped, right? Therefore, it is important to have a social proof on the website, so that the other visitors who are visiting the website are taking some kind of actionable, they should have the actionable insights by seeing the social proof, right? Now, social proof defines that your website has been accessed by many, and then they have taken some kind of actions, right? Therefore, turning your visitors into a customer. Now, how can you implement social proof? By either giving some kind, by either adding some kind of testimonials, uh, by adding some of the trust building factor, like the feedback the users have given. If we can showcase some kind of reviews or ratings of certain products, that they have given these kind of ratings, the real users specifically, they have given these kind of ratings, 4 star or 5 star or 4.5 star, they would be able to convert. They would be able to take some kind of decisions. So all these things are very important whenever we are preparing a website and all those things. So if your clients, if we are creating a website from the scratch, we need to make sure we add all these things. And if the client is not having these kind of things, then we need to make sure we implement on their website. Now we have already discussed about this earlier, that your website should look good, right? The part, or you can say uh, the home page or the about us page, it should be attractive. It should give you instant information about the products or the services that you might be providing, right? Therefore, your appearance, not only you are using some important or aesthetic colors, right? Your fonts, your complete UI, user interface, matters a lot, or you can say the appearance matters a lot, so that a customer visit if a visitor visits the website, should understand and should take certain decisions, right? By taking decision, what I meant is like they should do some of the action on your website. Now, if a website is not, let's say, loading properly, we won't be able to visit the website even. Like some of the uh, traffic will be bounced back, right? We need to make sure that we reduce the friction in terms of the website speed. We also need to make sure that we limit choices of the users. We shall not, distract the user a lot, making sure they get fed up with the products or the uh, services that you have put in, right? And let's say if the website is very much cluttered, they won't take certain actions that you desire of. Therefore, making sure that we limit the choices, we should not distract our user much. And then we also need to make sure that we implement strong CTAs, strong call to action buttons. If we are able to successfully prompt a user to take certain decision on your website, that means our goal is done, right? Therefore, we need to make sure that all these things, like reducing friction for a user on a website, is becoming important for any client. Now, we need to make sure that we, while giving call to action, we should mention the phone numbers, because if there be any kind of working phone number associated with any website, it will build trust. They can even reach you out on that phone number, and they might ask if they are having some doubts, or if they are having some kind of queries in their back of their mind, right? Therefore, it's important to implement phone numbers on your website. And again, someone should not be dummy. The phone number should not be dummy. Or if someone calls on that number, your backend executive must attend the call. If they are not attending the call, it means you have the number that you have provided, uh, and basically the you are losing out a potential customer, maybe, if you have not mentioned the phone number correctly, right? Therefore, we also need to put contact forms, like the forms that are essentials when putting up a so let's say if a lead wants to convert, or if you are selling any kind of high ticket product, then it is important to have a contact form, right? With the contact form, people would submit their request, submit their details, and make they would expect some kind of calls from the backend. Therefore, it is essential to have a contact form on a website. Then we should also have an email opt-in button, or there should be some kind of newsletters in the backend so that we can keep those newsletters, and people would subscribe to those newsletters, and those regular newsletters we should send them on their inbox on a, let's say, if not daily, then at least for on a weekly basis, right? We also need to make sure that we do not provide any dead ends in a website. Now, what are the dead ends? Now, you need to understand that whenever we are giving any dead ends, then a user might come out of the website, right? So let's say if if while visiting any particular page, if they are if they are going through a 404 error, they might see, I mean, their your website is not having these kind of potentials or these kind of backend people that they are your website is not properly aligned to their goals. So we need to make sure that we do not showcase some kind of errors on our website, making sure the customer should not go out, right? Therefore, we need to make sure that we put no dead ends. Now, we have already learned what are the aspects that are important for attracting a user on your website. So we have already learned all these things, like how to do a SEO. I mean, the basic fundamentals of SEO we have already gone through. Then we have already seen like social media, the importance of social media and all, because social media is one of the aspects that majority of the population is having their social accounts, right? And making sure that if we showcase our, if we are running any kind of campaign, it should reflect on their social accounts, right? Making sure that, again, social media and digital ads are working properly for a brand to grow, right? Therefore, these are the important aspects for a brand to attract a user on their website by doing number one, SEO, number two, social media, and any kinds of campaigns in the form of digital campaigns or ads we are running in the backend. It would attract the clients, right? And then, of course, the user would be the users would be able to take some kind of decisions. Now, if we are doing search engine, right? If we are doing search engine optimization, we need to make sure that we are driving relevant users on our website. So relevancy is important, right? Therefore, again, we need to also make sure that we are generating quality users. We are driving quality users in the backend by doing link buildings, by properly doing link buildings and putting those links in a page or in a website which are relevant to the niche that we are having, right? Therefore, it is essential to have search engine optimization for a longer term for any brand that we are working with. Again, while doing keyword research, it's important that we do brainstorming. So keyword is one of the important aspect in SEO, you all know, right? Therefore, we need to make sure that we put the right keywords on the website. For that, what we can do brainstorming. We can test the keywords by putting, let's say, if we are not generating any kind of traffic on that keyword, we might change those content later on. We might change the keywords later on, right? Therefore, again, after doing keyword research, we need to make sure we create content accordingly. Now, how to do a brainstorming? Now, what are the important things that we need to make sure while doing brainstorming, right? What are those products and the services in offer from the client's end? What are the problems that they are solving? Now, what problems and what solutions they are giving to that problem? Again, what are the special feature of any particular product or the services that the customer would convert? We also need to make sure that we figure out the competition regarding the product. There might be a single product, or there might be a product that might be having some other brands. They might be also providing the same services or the same product, right? So why a user should purchase from the website or your client's website, right? So we need to do all these kind of brainstorming so that we come to a conclusion why a person, why a user, or why a visitor would convert. So, as a digital marketer, we need to make sure that we are organized. If we are not organized, then things will not fall on their own place. Therefore, making sure we organize each and every part of a website, let's say, or the file that you are putting up on your, tracker each and every day. Therefore, organizing a particular website or organizing something in your backend, it's very important. Now, how to do a keyword research? So basically, we have already learned one tool. Here, I would again try to give some extra tools through which you can do your keyword research properly. So one tool previously we have seen, which is Google Planner, which is a free tool. Again, we will discuss two more tools over here. One is you can use Uber Suggest. Now, Uber Suggest is again a free tool and is very widely used. Right? You can even check all those keywords, their competition, their complete searches, average monthly searches, and all those things by very easily. Right here, you can see the medium, high, medium, all those things. We need to make sure that we keep those keywords on our website and make sure that we rank those keywords on our website, making sure ranking our website on top. Now, once we finalize the keywords, we need to make sure that we create content using or revolving around those keywords. Now, with an example, I would like to give you here. So, in this particular website, we have utilized fire alarm, right? So fire alarm installations is one kind of keywords that people might be looking for, right? Therefore, we need to make sure that we use those keywords on the websites for in a particular duration, right? We should also make sure that we should not spam those keywords, because if we are using the keywords again and again, Google algorithm thinks that you are spamming the keywords, and hence it will not rank your website in return, right? If I mean, if a particular keywords we are coming up with, we need to make sure that keyword is there on the website, web page, and then those keywords are utilized in our meta title as well as meta description, right? So it's very important that we utilize those keywords very promptly and very strategically, so that uh, visitors would get to see those keywords not only from on the website, but they might be getting a clear picture from the meta titles as well. So the example over here I have mentioned, like fire alarm installation is a keyword. Now where you have now where you are using, right? The location, the demographic. So New York City is the one where I provide the services for this fire alarm installation part. So we need to make sure that we put all those details in our meta title, and even we can utilize the same thing, fire alarm system installation across New York City, making sure, I mean, we have made sure that we have put the same keyword in the meta description as well.